Guys, all the years I've been doing this, I've become a coach, a mentor, and a trainer for some of the top real estate education companies in the United States. And as you guys know, the guy on the right, I've done some work with Trump University. I was a field coach and mentor. I'd fly in and train people for Robert Allen. Did some work for Nouveau Riche, Learning Exchange. I've worked with a lot of people. This guy on the right-hand side, Jason Rodriguez, really cool. I got a chance to spend 3 days with him up in Newport Beach talking about luxury homes. Guy is phenomenal, real nice inspiration. So, again, I've got a lot of experience training students. I got students all over the United States that I've worked with. Guys, life wasn't all this great at one time. See, I started with a foreclosure, and if I can be a success, anybody can. That's right. I started with a foreclosure. I'm just a nobody. I'm not important. I'm not special. But I want to show you how I got started. I bought my first house in 1979. Wow, that's 30 years ago. Amazing. Oh, I was 20 years old. I had an uncle that had encouraged me to save my money and buy a house. I was watching the infomercials. I'm going to buy me a fixer-upper. I'm going to fix it up, flip it. I bought that fixer up for $34,000. I refinanced, couldn't pay the property taxes. I lost that house to foreclosure. So I had to make some money. I decided, well, you know what? I love karate. Let me start teaching. So I went back to teaching karate classes. As I was teaching karate classes, my daughter, Tiffany, she had grown up. She said she was ready for college. Guys, I was doing so much work in that karate school, I didn't even know my daughter was 18. Really, I'm serious. She had grown up. I didn't realize it. She was ready for college. She was the class president, had great grades, no boy trouble. I didn't have the money. Guys, I did not have the money. That was a real wake-up call for me. I felt like I had been hit in the head by a 2x4. That's exactly the way I felt. That's exactly the way I looked. I was devastated. I was depressed. You know why I didn't have the money? Because I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was in the rat race, you guys. But hey, this is one of my favorite little cartoons I like to show when I'm teaching seminars. It says here, according to your latest figures, if you retire today, you can live very, very comfortably to about 2 p.m. tomorrow. Some of you know what I mean there, okay? That's hard. It's tough when you're living paycheck to paycheck. And again, I'm telling you guys, real estate, if you get it right, can make a big difference, get you out of the rat race. So what happened was I decided to close my karate school down because I wasn't making any money. I happened to get a chance to work with this guy here. This is my next mentor. His name is Carl. Carl grew up in the same neighborhood I did when I was younger. And Carl had his daughter in my karate class. So he said, Terry, since you're close to karate school down, my daughter was doing really well. Why don't you just teach out of my garage to finish up with the rest of the students that you have? I said, great. So Carl invited me to his house. Guys, I was driving to his house, and I noticed that the houses became much more beautiful. I mean, it was gorgeous neighborhood, well-manicured yards. It was called the Greenhaven Pocket Area, if you're familiar with Sacramento. So Carl, I knock on the door, and he opens it. I mean, look at those floors, you guys, and look at that crown molding on those archways there. I was kind of jealous. I was jealous. And I asked Carl, I said, Carl, how did you get this house? We grew up in the same neighborhood, and, it was kind of a gritty neighborhood, but, I live over here, and you live in this house. I'm going, wow. I said, how'd you get it? Carl says, you know what, Terry? I bought the house from a developer that went bankrupt. Guys, I said, Carl, please say that again. I want to make sure I heard you. He says, I bought the house from a developer that went bankrupt. At that moment, you know what I thought, guys? This guy, Carl, has some specialized knowledge. I said, Carl, I'm broke. What do I need to do to be successful like you? Carl told me to go knock on the doors of homeowners in foreclosure. Guys, I couldn't wait for the next day. I knocked on doors, sun up till sundown. I did exactly as the mentor and the coach told me to do. It was back to real estate, get rich or die trying. Every house was a deal. I was motivated by who? I was motivated by my daughter. That's right. See, I ate, breathed, and slept real estate. If you didn't talk real estate to me, I didn't want to talk to you. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you the truth of how motivated I was to be a success. Again, I was hungry and I was motivated. I didn't allow no excuses. At this point in my life, no excuses to why I couldn't be successful. Houses that were upside down, you guys, I already showed you that house where there was no equity. Houses that are upside down, I shouldn't have taken, but I did. You know why? Because I was hungry. I wanted them all. Nothing was refused. That's the way I looked at real estate. So again, I told you guys, the reason why I buy these defaulted banknotes and this non-performing paper is because I want to make $100,000 on my deals. No other real estate system has afforded me that luxury. And then be able to provide a great public service. Also, remember I showed you the guy that